Space, as a legendary TV series once said, is absolutely the final frontier. Because while we still haven't explored all of Earth technically, despite what some people might say, space has an almost infinite wealth of places that we haven't seen, explored, or can even guess as to what they honestly feature.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're enjoying my content, consider hitting that subscribe button below to join our community and never miss a new video.
This one will be able to live up to the hype set by its competition. Now, if you don't know about the ASTRA Space Company, allow us to give you a little bit of a history lesson on it. ASTRA was founded in October of 2016 by Chris Kemp and Adam London. So technically it's one of the more recent companies to try and get into the space race game, if you will. But it did have a history with space before this. Before being reincorporated as ASTRA Space Inc. in 2016, Ventions LLC was a small San Francisco-based aerospace research and design firm with a 10-plus year history developing aerospace technology in partnership with NASA and DARPA. During early to mid-2019, most non-test related employees moved from the Orion building into a new building at 1900 Skyhawk Street, Alameda, California, known as Skyhawk. This allowed a large expansion of a previously cramped machine shop, additional in-house machining capabilities, and a rocket production line in anticipation of Rocket 3. Additionally, this building has a number of known chemical contaminants due to its history as a naval jet engine overhaul facility, Building 360, and is now designated as part of Naval Air Station Alameda Superfund site. 2 suborbital test flights were conducted in 2018 from Pacific Spaceport Complex, Alaska, PSCA, one on July 20th, 2018, Rocket 1.0, and one on November 29th, 2018, Rocket 2.0. Both were stated to be launch failures by the Federal Aviation Administration. However, ASTRA stated that both were successful and the second one was shorter than planned. ASTRA spent 2019 designing and building Rocket 3.0, integrating propulsion systems, avionics, and other pressurization plumbing components into a high-performance electric pump-fed orbital launch vehicle. From 2018 to 2020, ASTRA was a contender in the DARPA Launch Challenge, first as one of 3 teams, although at this point ASTRA kept its involvement secret and was only referred to as a stealth startup by the challenge organizers. Then, as the other 2 teams dropped out and remaining as the only team in the competition involved launching 2 small satellite payloads into orbit from 2 different launch sites in the US, with approximately 2 weeks between launches. ASTRA attempted to perform a launch for the challenge in late February, early March 2020 from PSCA, but had to scrub the launch attempts and in the end did not launch a rocket for the challenge due to a faulty sensor data. ASTRA failed to deliver 4 satellites to orbit as planned on February 10th and the company's first ever orbital launch from the contiguous United States. The California startup's 43-foot tall, 13 meters launch vehicle 0008 LV0008 launched the ELANA-41 mission from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station today, rising off the pad at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The 2-stage LV0008 performed well initially, soaring high into the Florida skies, but something appeared to go wrong about 3 minutes into flight, just after the rocket's first and second stages separated. Footage from a camera on board the second stage showed the rocket body spinning rather than cruising smoothly toward its intended destination, an orbit with an altitude of 310 miles. Unfortunately, we heard that an issue has been experienced during flight that prevented the delivery of our customer payloads to orbit today. The most recent trial, a mission for the US military that blasted off this past November, the company's LV0007 made it to orbit, a huge achievement for the Bay Area company. An ASTRA rocket reached space during a December 2020 test flight but ran out of fuel shortly before attaining orbital velocity. NASA officials wrote in an ELANA-41 update on February 1st. CubeSat from the University of California, Berkeley was a technology demonstration designed to test how the space environment affects quantum gyroscopes, and NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston provided the R5S1 CubeSat, which would have demonstrated tech that could aid in space inspection of satellites, ASTRA will conduct an investigation into what happened, working together with the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration. Missions like these are critical for developing new launch vehicles in this growing commercial sector. The ASTRA team demonstrated dedication to supporting NASA's mission. The lessons learned will benefit them and the agency going forward. So seeing how they've come up and transformed themselves into a company that is trying to simplify space travel, you honestly have to wonder if they're going to be able to make an impact in a way that SpaceX repeatedly does. But don't think that this is a failure just because of their most recent setback. That's not how this works. As both SpaceX and Blue Origin would tell you, SpaceX was honestly built to kick NASA into high gear and get back into space before they realized they could just do it all better and cheaper on their own. But even with that realization, it's taken almost 20 years to get to the successes that they've now had, and they still have the same. Same with Blue Origin. The real point here is that ASTRA is trying. They're trying to do things that can help us get into space, and that's really what matters here. Space isn't going anywhere. So keep doing what you're doing, ASTRA. We'll be here when you get things rolling and launching and celebrate with you. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at the ASTRA Space Company and how they are going after space just like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and all the other companies out there? Or do you think that compared to what SpaceX and others are doing, they're not going to match up?
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. See you in the next one.